Some say Formula One isn't really a sport. What sport has stadiums that span cities? Or revels in driving rain, blazing sun, and blackest night? What sport makes even Vegas stop and stare? Sure, we have passing and curveballs and even the odd dive. But for us, the back of the net is no place to be. Breakpoint is rarely an advantage, and halftime, we do it in no time. Our kit saves lives. Our goals change futures. Our slam dunks echo around the world. And our big game, we do it 23 times a year. This is no ordinary sport. This is Formula One.
Good evening and welcome to round 5 of BRL. We are in Jeddah this week. A track that is loved by some, hated by many. We should have an interesting race this one. We believe we've got 17 drivers, so we should have 17 to 18 drivers. We should have plenty of good racing on hand, and hopefully a few drivers that can show us how it's done around Jeddah. Obviously Jeddah normally should be dry. We will ask if anyone is listening just to double check. Be very surprised if it is raining, as it is generally a dry track overall. Obviously the climate out there, the realistic game that gives it the weather, which is... So let's get on to it. Q1. Get all of our track details and data going. How you doing, Anfo? Do have a prediction up on screen now for 1 DNF in Q1. Jeddah being a street circuit. That's very fast corners around Jeddah compared to the likes of Monaco, etc. I bet the walls are still just as close on probably about 75% of the circuit. Some of them have got quite a little bit of a run off onto the corners. 2,500 on yes from Cedric. Cedric is racing, so we'll keep an eye on him. As we have the Mercedes of our first reservist, P out on track. It's all dry, no surprise there, thank you, Anfo. I just wanted to double check. Few drivers just starting to come out on track now. It's got potential for a lot of overtakes in here. It's got a very decently sized length start slash finish line down the pit wall. It's got a fairly long sort of length down there, with the DRS is there as well. We've also got the start of sector 3, which is the next DRS zone, which Puffy is going down now. You can see a potential for a lot of overtakes going into there, and it's into a heavy braking zone going down into the start towards the finish line. Second board plus P is the first one going across the line now. He's in quite a lot of clear air in front and behind. So easy to invalidate around here, as a lot of drivers will tell you. So easy to lose a lot of time, definitely through these S sections as well. Oh, it's just I'm very surprised he didn't invalidate there either. He comes to the top of, well, the end of sector 1, start of sector 2. The looping left-hander. Do run a risk of sliding around that corner. Doesn't invalidate there either. He's right on the line there, Puff P. And he does invalidate under the bridge. I'm surprised he didn't get an invalidation before that. Probably at least twice. Cedric has been brave and gone on the medium tyres. So he is on a lap. Yes, he is on a lap. He geared up a little bit too early there. Oh, he's not on a lap. He is not burning ERS. Let's go down to Mr. Indians validated. Baz is top of. So yeah, he's just coming down the start-finish straight. Should. Oh no, yeah, Baz was a 130.9 is our first one. I don't know who's behind him there. Mr. Indy is just starting. Is that? Sid's just starting as well. So is that Ferrari next? Baz has gone off. Sorry about changing, trying to find who it is. Sumps of Life is out lap as well. Haggy AK. Come around and start of sector 3 into the second DRS zone. Not what you class as a straight, but it won't affect anyone's time with the turns going down here. Quite powerful, but you'll probably see a lot of drivers sitting behind to then enable them to get the DRS in the second one. A 134.29 from Haggy on the mediums. Puppy is going again. It's only just comes to the start of sector 3 now. I think that's not Val, he's in the pits. The other Aston Martin of Mr. Pro. He's next across the line, followed by Mr. Indy, I believe. Mr. Pro goes fastest, 21 and 4. Mr. Indy is next, goes P3. Don't know who the Mercedes, that's Puff P, goes P5. And then we go to, I think that's Antfo, who's just starting now. Let's go back on board with Sid, who is up his time at the moment. It's not going to be a time that pushes the top guys down at all at the moment. Cedric stays P7 on the mediums. Antfo is middle of sector 1. Mikey is also on the mediums, just coming down towards the finish line now. And Mikey goes P2, 29.559. I think that is it, Antfo? No, it's not Antfo. That'd be Haggy coming in. Roosemaster in the Alpine is just starting his first hot lap. Where is Matt? We're going on board with Matt as he's coming around the top left-hand corner. Try and stay as close to the wall as you can to open up the next corner as much as you can. Potential of losing a lot of time there with heavy underbraking. Again, hugging these walls, open up the track, coming underneath the bridge, dab of the brakes. Trying to be careful not to invalidate on that side. It's very, very easy to. So it comes around the left and oh, looked like he was good, but just outbraked himself a little bit. Crosses the line and puts in P6. Alan looking nice and smooth. Alan and the Alpine. Nice and smooth coming underneath the bridge, carrying as much speed as he can. Very close to the wheel on the left hand side of the wheel. Should be a half decent time for Alan. There's P4, moving the others down. We've got Matt and Snipers, Puff P, Sidric, Antfo down in the potential drop zone when the other guys come out. We've got Vale, Dodos and Kenyon yet to post times. Martial Arts in the pit. Night Owl, our current, believe he's our current leader. I'm not quite sure. But he's highly up there in the league table anyway. He's yet to post a time as well. Sitting on board with Vale as he goes round. It's just favoring the throttle through the S's. Careful not to invalidate on the left and then coming back into the left hand side and watching the right. Does it perfectly on the line. Not too close to the wall. It has have a tendency to spit you out that corner. He's hugging that right hand side beautifully. Over the brakes, carry as much as speed as close to the wall as you can, utilising every inch of this track. very smooth so far. Where he comes out to expect that. He's got a clear track at the moment. There's only 4 cars on track. The rest are just probably going in, refueling new tyres to some that think they need it. We've got a 128.870 from Vale. It's quite a clear gap down into P2. Where goes Mr. Kenyon. The mighty Haas. Coming to the bridge, under the bridge. It's smooth on the exit as well. He is on the mediums as well, and he's going to be pushing the rest down and slotting himself into P2 of 129.3. Who else was that we saw? Oh! Dodo's just getting very, very comfortable with the wall. Introducing himself, it looked like. Night Hour is just behind. Still on board with Dodos for these ones as well. He's on a soft compound tyre. I believe he was our winner last week. An absolute dominating performance I believe he had in Australia in equal tier. He's got a couple of guys just coming out the pitch just behind. Oh, he runs very wide going around the S's. It doesn't give him invalidation. But I wonder how much time that's cost him. The game's saying it's a purple sector 1, so it might not cost him any time. But it didn't give him invalidation, which is very unusual for those type of corners on here. Just dab the brakes into this. Right on the line again. Very close to the wall. I'm going to need a change of pants soon. The bridge, it keeps it nice and smooth as well. Purple sector 2. It's looking very, very good lap so far. Beautifully executed on the exit. Where can Dodos and his prancing horses put themselves? They do put themselves P1 with a 28.433. Down to Night Owl, who is also a very, very big contender. $129.448. Let's just check the tyres. There's a few runners. Just trying to see who we got. We got Cedric at the moment. He has elected to go for the soft compound now. He originally went out in the mediums. He is improving by 1.4 seconds to the first, or the heavy braking zone, down into the pit. The pit straight on the left hand side, and he puts himself P9, improving at 1.9 seconds. Aggie is staying out on the medium tyres. Night Owl is done. Dodo's is done as well. So Haggy is the only one at the moment that has got a valid lap going. Oh, we're right down in sector 1 there, Sid. Kenyon retired, happy and comfortable and confident with his 129.3. Dodo's also confident of that time, not surprisingly. As Haggy does move up to P9, pushes Sid down to P10. There's going to be a couple of guys out now. We are going to lose Well, we got 17. We are losing 2 drivers, and at the moment it is Mashallah and Puff P, but they have time to correct that. As Mashallah is on his outlap, he is just about to start. Mr. Pro retired, the same as Night Owl. Happy. Let's go on board with Mashallah. He's a controller player around Jeddah, which has always been known to be extremely hard around street circuits. And just here, the controller, like the feathering of the throttle. It looks like he's off to a good start to get himself into Q2. Puffy is in the pits. I believe he hasn't left this enough time. Vashalar has retired. Not retired, sorry, invalidated that lap. Yeah, sorry, Puff P, I believe he's in the pit, so he's not going to give himself enough time to get out. Snipers for life in the Ferrari with another attempt. Ooh, just to keep himself into it. It looked like he had to let off the throttle there to just keep the car on track. He is currently 0.2 down on his personal best. Gonna have to hope for a dramatic miracle to improve on this current lap. I don't think he's gonna have time to go around and do another. Matt is also out, but I believe Puff P is out of Q1. Mashallah will be going for his last attempt now. We will go back to that after we just watch what Snipers for Life does as it comes into the start of Sector 3. Snipers for Life coming right down to the start-finish line now, and he puts it P15. What can Mashallah do? Can Mashallah push them down? He needs to keep this lap valid, unlike his last one. He needs to keep it clean, smooth, very close to the wall, left and right hand side. Oh, who is the Williams there that may have impeded his lap there? Not sure who that Williams was. Mashallah coming down to the bridge, just dab with the brakes, keep the power on as much as he can. Looks nice and smooth. Into the heavy braking zone of the tight left hand. I need to open yourself right up to get as much speed down. Not sure if he's got enough. He has got enough. He puts himself to P14, moves Sniper for Life and Puff P out of Q1. Let's just choose the outcome of the prediction, and surprisingly, it was a no. There was no DNF in Q1. Right, just while we're waiting for the last couple of guys to go round, we'll just go for a quick break. And we are back for Q2 after losing Puff P and Snipers for Life in the McLaren, not McLaren, the Mercedes and the Ferrari. So we've got 15 minutes of Q2. Now we lose the bottom 5 drivers, so we lose P15 down to P11. You'll see a lot of drivers come out a bit earlier this time to give themselves a much more run-up. Give themselves as much more leeway time as possible. And so we're keeping the DNS for the race. Unlucky snipers. Let's go. It's got to be Vale. Last one out in Q1, but one of the first ones out in Q2 and 3. Just see all the drivers on the soft compound tyre now as well. I'm very surprised you'll see anything but. I owe you a shoe. I do owe you a shoe. I would do that. And you got your predictions. You should have got your winnings. A lot more drivers out on track nice and early. There's a couple sitting in the pits as it stands. Where's Sid? Yeah, he's out nice and early. He needs to give himself as much time as possible. Go back down to Mr. Vale. He's got a McLaren coming out of the pit now. It won't, or shouldn't, impede him, as he has moved right over to the right hand side. Oh, Vale. Spin-a-rooney. This is not ballet, sir. This is F1. Nice spin, though. Who was the Alpha Daddy ahead? It must have been Antro, who's invalidated. Haggy is there. That has just about crossed the line is Kenyan. It is. Don't know who else we've got. Is it Baz was the next one? No, it wasn't. So Nice Hours ahead there. So I'm just trying to work out who to go to. Oh no, where's Sid? Oh, he's dead on the right there. Can't park there, sir. We've lost Brewmaster. First DNF of the session comes in Q2. It's a very unusual place to get caught right on the right hand side there. Must have had a complete oversteer. Haggy 129.439 setting the AlphaTauri. Cedric just coming up to the last left-hander. Representing Alfa Romeo. Let's say 131 dead. Currently P2. Mr. Pro invalidated. Let me try and just have a look. We got Mikey coming down the pitch straight now. Baz P2. Mikey P3. 128.541. Ninetail, the top of Sector 1. Is that Monsieur Kenyon? It is coming down here. Should be setting this on pole. He is 128.340. That is everyone. So Ninetail is the next one. Very close to the ball on the right hand side. A little bit of an overshot there. You'd like to keep that closer to the apex. Very close to the one on the right. Hug this wall, left hand side of the wall as much as possible. Ooh, little touch on the right. Wolf's just letting him know he's there still. One loves a good rub here and there. 129.281. Got a few guys starting now. Who's first? We got Alan Annie Alpine. Not gonna lie, he screwed that first corner up into the S's there. It's just compromised this whole section. Very, very closely followed by PRL Mats in the Mercedes behind, which she doesn't. It's not really that close enough to try and benefit from a little bit of a toe here off the Alpine. So, who's? Are you bigging yourself up in the chat, Sid? Alan goes P4, Matt goes P5, sorry, Matt goes P6.3 between them. Anfo is going again, AlphaTauri under the bridge section. Not under the bridge section, sorry, I've completely lost where I am. Oh, he just invalidates on the right hand side. It's so easily done. Mr. Pro is just starting now. Oh, what is that? Dodo's has gone. Ah, Dodo's. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to see it. Unfortunately, you might save your embarrassing. You've disappeared off track. We've lost both Ferraris, one in Q1 and the other from a DNF in Q2 after Dodo set the fastest lap in Q1. Mr. Pro, there's a wall on your right hand side, sir. Anfo didn't invalidate, he did. So the furthest ahead on track is Mr. Pro coming down to the right left chicane. I don't know what they're called on corners, very close to the one on the right, but beautifully done. We've got Cedric out on track as well with 7 minutes left to give himself plenty of time to probably have 2 runs of this if he needs to. He is on the elimination zone now as it counts on P10. One more, Mr. Ward left hand side. One more drop from Cedric will be eliminated. Hoping to stop that from happening. Mr. Pro crosses the line now, goes P7. That does push down Sid into P11. As he is on his outlet now. Let's go down to Mashallah. Mashallah, my brother. Goes P7, moves people further down, drops Baz into the dropout zone now, and Mr. Indy onto the line of elimination. He has started. Let's go on board with Cedric. We've got yellow flags ahead, we've got a Haas and a Red Bull just rotating places. A little bit deeper into the start of that S section as he wanted to, probably. Done quite well to rescue the entrances to the rest of them. It's coming up to a little bit of traffic now in the Haas and the Red Bull. Nicely done on the S's, just triggering off the coming up to the bridge section. He needs to just carry as much speed as he can through here. Nice and wide into it. Into the last DRS section. Nightowl has retired. in the pits. He's happy with his time. Might be able to get a little bit of a cheeky toe. No, the Aston pulls over completely left. Sid comes up to the line now. Is it going to be enough to push him up? He pushes him up to P10. He improves by 0.9 of a second. We've got some other drivers just going now. It may not be good enough for Sid. He might have time to get round, get in and get out again anyway. Mr. Indy is just coming around now. For the fast sector 3. A little bit deep, close to the wall, but can utilise all that track. Mr. Indy, P8 improves by 0.6 of a second. Now pushes Sid back down into the elimination zone. Mikey, is he going again? He is not going again. Be surprised. We should see Sid come back in as well. Baz is on some 4-hour ERS but invalidated. He'll probably go in now. He is. Anfo outlap. He's a good one now just to cement Q2. We know he's more than capable of doing it as well. Let's go back down to R8 Baz in the McLaren. Oh, and we've got ballet going on again in the S's. We got 7 out of 10 for the spin. As we're on board with the AlphaTauri reservists for this race of Anfo. Oh, he's pushing up right on the limit of invalidation there. Keeps it nice and tight and may sacrifice a little bit of time on the exit, but it doesn't invalidate. So we've got 2 minutes 10 seconds left for some of these drivers to save their Q2 and push them into Q3 or be eliminated in Q2. Anfo invalidated. Same point again as we've seen with a couple of other drivers. Just that left hand side exit. Sid is out. Matt is out. Mr. Pro is on a hot lap now. Anfo will have to go again now if he stands any chance of getting his Q3. Mr. Pro, improvement by 0.4 in Sector 1. Can he join the Aston Martin teammate? Further up the board. Up to the oh, that's right close to the wall from that angle. Sector 2, is this a red ball? That is a red ball, I'm not sure. Is that Mikey? It is Mikey. He wants to go again. Mr. Pro Pebble Sector 2. Given by the game. Looking on a nice, smooth, confident lap so far. Trigger the last DRS, he approaches the line and he sets a 129 dead. Puts him up to P4. Anfo is going again. We've got Sid starting his last attempt and his last push to get into Q3. Anfo so far, have you ever retired in the pits? I believe yes he has. Anfo has so far not invalidated down to the heavy brake in left hand corner. Not sure if this is going to be enough to get him into Q3. It's not. It's not enough to get him into Q3. Who's first? Matt coming down. I don't think he is improving. He's not improving. He hasn't moved. It is down to Sid now. It is all or nothing for the Alfa Romeo reservist. First race, first competitive race in PRL for a number of weeks. Bit the bullet. I've been offering him to drive for the last couple of weeks, and he said no to Singapore. He said no to Australia, but he chose Jeddah. As he comes down, the last sector since he's been aboard hasn't been brilliant. It's been a little bit scratchy. And judging by the weaving of the car, it was not good enough for him. He is now 0.3 over his personal best. And we lose Cedric and Fro Baz for in Q2. And we also lose Remaster and PRL Dodos for DNF in Q2. Unlucky gentlemen, that concludes Q2. We will take a short break and we'll be back for Q3. And we are back for Q3. Dun dun dun.
Audio should be included. I'm back in the run up in the box, still in my race suit. I've pissed it. Oh, I was so up then. Was you on board with me at all or anything?
I went on board you as you was just coming underneath the bridge.
Yeah, I ran wide and then it just put me all out, and then I ran wide on the next corner and clipped the wall. Yeah, I was 0.3 up. I was definitely through. Yeah, I was definitely going through.
Unlucky.
Yeah, it felt good, to be honest, at some stages. It's just linking it up and doing it for a whole race is going to be the That's the Battle of Jeddah. Luckily, I'm on wheel a few of these guys. Obviously, on pad, which is awful.
Yeah, it's the same as what Monaco would be. It's just it's consistency is the key. Picking up scraps and you keep yourself consistent.
I'm going to come in with some insider knowledge, but Vale is getting called showtime or screen time in the chat because he's always first out and he always gets on the stream. But here he is, and he's flying. Look at this. These are some lines to learn.
To be fair, I called it out. I called that out in Q2.
What, the showtime?
Says you don't see him in Q1 until about halfway through, and then Q2 and 3 he's always first one out.
He said it's because he's got old tyres, which I can understand because that's what I do. I chuck on the old set and go straight out.
We did catch him spin.
But I don't like going first because of then I know I am on stream, and I don't want that. Don't nobody want that.
Some
Is
people
he
love
going to
it.
catch
Some
up to
people
this
hate
Alpine here?
it. No.
This Alpine? No, you don't think so?
No.
Well, no, the Alpine's going to hit that corner. Yeah, you're right.
He's going to be the point.
And then he's got Night Owl behind him. I've seen Night Owl disconnect from the session a couple of times. That could affect his race.
Very close to
Did
the
you
wall.
see R. Simpson join at all? Or?
Nope.
He said he was going to join.
28
Vale with
dead.
128 dead. That's a good lap.
Who is next? Is that Mikey?
Night Owl
Yes,
just started,
it is
and then it is Mikey.
And then the
And
other
Mesa Pro.
Sorry,
Mesa Pro's invalidated. I was on board with that. Heige next. Heige AK running nice and deep on the inside. This is going to be a good lap. 29-1. 28-1 for Mikey. He's second quicker than
Mr.
Heige.
Indy invalidated. That Matt, it is
Matthew.
Matt and Mercedes. Sorry, let me just get my
Has he got a
data right.
Mercedes left in Q3. He was the guy I was going to try and push out of Q3. That was my plan. Did you finish your prediction? Sheila was very unhappy.
Yes, I closed it.
Okay.
I believe I closed it, yeah.
Alan? Kenyon, there we go. 27.
Yes, the winner
Woo-hoo.
was no.
The winner was
It
no.
is
I lost
closed.
2,500. Alan just coming into sector 3.
I wonder if she's doing another one. I'm going to say, or are we going to see, what should we say, a 127.5? Are we going to see a 127.5?
Oh, I don't know. That's asking. I don't know what the times are around here, really.
No, I don't know myself.
Are you going to see much more than what that is? Maybe.
Should we do another DNF?
Or poll. Do who will get poll. There should be that prediction on there. Are you getting the previous predictions? Click that, and then you should be able to change a few of them. Would you want me to do it? I'll do it if you want.
Yeah, if you've got it on, you can do it quick.
Yeah, I'll do it, because then you can stay on the stream. Obviously, my view is not being streamed.
Mr. Indy coming up, has just started after his invalidation. He's in sector 1 now, just approaching the S's, which I don't know if he is. If he is, he's not running any ERS, so I think he may. He's on an hour left, so he may have just come in and going back out. Everyone else at the moment has set a time. We've got Mashallah in the pit, who has not moving yet, giving himself 6 minutes to work wonders. Others are coming into the pit. Nightowl is not pushing. Validation from Mr. Pro. Canyon currently leading 127.925. And we're going to see a reset and people back out on track.
Can I just give a big shout out to Mr. Indy being in Q3? Hope you don't mind me saying it, but that's a good quality. That's a good quality for Mr. Indy.
Definitely.
Be happy with Q3. I say that as he is around, I would say, my level. Whereas I'm always happy if I get into Q3.
Upstairs.
What's it?
Back on board. We're not going to go on board around because everyone's pointing out. We're not going to do it. We told the Sky team to go and watch someone else, and that's what they're doing. We're going to go on board with the duly pointed out Mr. Indy. See if he can carry on his fine form and post a good time in Q3. These walls are coming thick and fast. Nina and the Neons. Mr. Indy 130.134. Mashallah is still yet to post. He's probably got 1, maybe 2 attempts at most. It's just starting now. Up from that, Mr. Indy is going. We've got Matt in the pit. We've got Alan in the pit. They will be coming out very, very shortly. Heige AK just coming down in towards the S sections. Oh, is that Bale again? It is Vale again. He doesn't like a spin there, doesn't he? He's got time to go again. He has got a Haas following behind of Mashallah. Mashallah again, a little bit of a cheeky toe. Probably won't do too much. Let's go on board with Mashallah as is anyone without a valid time. Is that a Red Bull? It might be a Red Bull of Mikey. It is a Red Bull. We've got an Aston Martin ahead of Mashallah as well. He's moving over to the right hand side. Mashallah's got some nice clear track. We've lost Mikey and Vale on this lap of both at the
When did we lose Ampo? Was that Q2?
Q2. He finished behind you.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
Mashallah. Whoa, my son.
I'll just say fair play to Mashallah, but my mic doesn't work for some reason. Fair play to Mashallah for getting into Q3 on controller. I don't know about the other guys, but I know Mashallah is controller. He goes straight on to not get in the way, I guess.
He goes straight on, yeah.
He knew he was going to be in trouble. He knew he was going to be in trouble. He's going to look. He's sitting there, he's having a watch.
Where's Vale?
Mashallah retires.
No, Vale's retired.
Vale's retired.
In the pits.
In the pits? Why is he retired?
He was just out and he spun on his last hot lap.
Heige has spun as well. Mikey has invalidated. Mr. Pro is on it. Where is he on the lap? Kenyon on an out lap.
So it's between Kenyon and Mikey for pole.
I would say so. No
Night Owl could
any of the other
potentially push
guys.
him up as well, but
Oh, sorry, yeah, no, Night Owl's there. Night Owl, championship leader by 1 point. So the rest are going to be really exciting for that.
oh, Mr. Pro,
Oh,
rised on.
Mr. Pro, he kept his foot in. How has he kept him all these wheels on there? Mr. Pro goes round. He's got cars flying through him now.
Oh, Mikey's invalidated.
Yeah, Mikey, he invalidated quite early in his lap.
But it doesn't look like he's turning off at all. I think we'll see him coming to the pits now as well.
Yeah, he'll be
I
coming
think
in and
Vale
going
and
again.
Mikey have done the same. Yep, he's going in.
He's done.
Kenyon
Kenyon's
to
going.
cement his P1.
Heige coming in. That is that.
Q3 has thrown a few little curveballs.
Night Owl 2 tenths up. He may jump 1 pace, but he's not going to move much unless he has an epic next 2 sectors. So Night Owl is the only guy who can really move up. Kenyon can
Kenyon is
improve on his
improving
time.
by 0.13 as it stands.
Let's have a look at Night Owl's further down the road. Where can Night Owl come up?
He's improved 0.5, nearly 0.6. So you could see him jump to P4.
Yeah, he could get to P4. He needs a big sector 3 to jump Mikey. Should be a second row start. Here he comes. What's it going to be?
And it is going to be a P4.
P4. Yeah.
Back on board with Kenyon. The last valid lap of Q3. Time is out. Can he just improve on what already was in P1? And he is.
Yep, he does. Kenyon on point.
So that concludes qualification for round 5 in Jeddah,
It does.
which sees us bring PRL Kenyon in P1, followed by Vale in P2 and Mikey in P3, who had to abort their last laps.
Yep.
Night Owl improves on his last lap of Q3 to put himself in P4 in a McLaren. Heige P5, followed by Mr. Pro. Alan and Matt in P7 and 8 respectively. Mashallah in P9, and a good overall qualification for Mr. Indy sees him start the race in P10.
Yes. Right. I'm going to go back and race. Or try to. I'll probably be back in the comms box soon.
Now, as we will take a short break and then.
Good luck.
Some say Formula One isn't really a sport. What sport has stadiums that span seas? Or revels in driving rain, blazing sun, and blackest night? What sport makes even Vegas stop and stare? Sure, we have passing and curveballs and even the odd dive. But for us, the back of the net is no place to be. Breakpoint is rarely an advantage, and halftime, we do it in no time. Our kit saves lives. Our goals change futures. Our slam dunks echo around the world. And our big game, we do it 23 times a year. This is no ordinary sport. This is Formula One.
Welcome back after the short break that we had. Everyone had a chance to wee and refresh themselves. As we start, it's the formation lap going on to give the drivers a chance to warm tyres, get themselves ready and into the frame of mind for the race. Let's have a look at the tyre choices that we have from the drivers. We've got medium tyres from the top 3 and then a set of hard tyres from Nightown P4. Medium tyres all the way down from P5 to P11 and then a majority elected hard compound from the drivers down from P12 to P17. Apart from the Ferrari of Snipers for Life, who is also elected to go for the medium tyres. First driver comes across the last corner to set himself up on the grid. The rest of the grid will follow as they get themselves locked into the box on the straight. Their tyre temperatures will lock in. Everyone has their own little routines. Doing what? Oh, we got there. Puffy is lagging at the back there. Oh, not really quite sure what Mikey's doing here. Trying to work out his angles. Just wait for the last couple of drivers to form up on grid. How you doing, Rowden? Sorry, I hope work is okay for you. Three DSQs for overshooting their pit. Their grid box. As we go down, we're going to go on board with Mikey here. I just want to try and keep an eye of it. There's 5 lights, and it is off. And we've got it. We've got a little bit of a slow start from Mikey down. We've got the AlphaTauri going round right on the right hand side. McLaren going on the inside. Mikey trying to keep his position. AlphaTauri is on the right hand side of Mikey as we go into turn 3. Mikey keeps hold of it. The AlphaTauri goes down as well. The McLaren going around the outside. Aston Martin coming up behind. We have got yellow freeze, and that is, we have got Cedric round in turn 3. Has he got no wing? No, he looks like he is damage free as it stands. Puffy has got past Dodo, sorry. As the Mercedes goes into the deep left hand corner, just on the inside of the other Ferrari. Looks like Puff P has taken both Ferraris. As a 1.2 second lead has come from the gap, we've got Haggy going round, looking on the inside. He's not. He's going to tap off the brakes, going under the bridge, trying to get Nightown back onto the straight, burning ERS. ERS is powerful and potential down the straight. Goes round the outside and gets the move completed Night Owl way before the corner. Mr. Pro is the next one looking at the potentially the same move. Oh, Mr. Pro's gone. Absolutely gone. We have a VSC. I believe it's a VSC we've got a couple of drivers pitting as well. We've got Baz Allen, Puffy and Snipers all pitting. Cedric is staying out. This is going to rescue Cedric's poor start on lap 1. Not sure what happens there with Mr. Pro. I was literally looking down at the laptop. But it is only a VSC as it stands, I believe. I can't see any safety car out on track. We should be back to racing any second now. It's a little bit of a gap has formed. Now down from P11. Just waiting for this VSC to be lifted. Get this race back on the way. And it is, and we do. We have Vale as utilises that delta brilliantly. He's right on the back of Kenya now. Mikey is joining in on this action. Haggy is there. Night Owl just behind as well. Got a little bit of a gap back down there to Rusemaster. DRS is enabled. I mean, Kenya looked like he was just getting away from down there. I don't know if potentially different setups. Down to the other drivers quick. Anthro, sorry not Anthony, Dodo's is 2.1 seconds off of Anthro ahead, who's just on the back of this pack, just leading at the moment, but there's a gap forming from P5 to P6. Then there's a little bit of a 12-second gap down to Anthro. Oh, we got yellow flags. We got Brewmaster's gone as well. That has triggered another VSC, I believe. Not sure what's going on there. What's happened? Brewmaster's lost it, potentially on the right hand side. Unlucky, Mr. Pro. I didn't really catch what happened there. You was going fine and then that was it, you were round. So it is another VSC. Unfortunately, doesn't give the drivers at the back a potential, or the potential chance to catch up. Not sure what's happened on the two crashes. It looks like there's been a lack of traction out of corners more than anything. DRS is back enabled. We are green again on track. Top three remains as it was. Heige still on the back as well. Night Owl following. A little bit of a gap back down to Martial Art, 2.6. Matt is on the back, followed by Indy and Anthro. Dodo's has cut it down by a second to 1.5 seconds away. Cedric is unfortunately down to 13 seconds away. And then 10-second gap from behind as well. We've lost another driver. That's Snipers for Life we have lost in Sector 1. He's still going. Vale looks to attack Kenyon again in the next DRS zone. A lot of guys just pulling out, letting them know each and everyone is looking for these type of moves into the DRS zone. But at the moment it's just a bit of a train. As we go back down to Anto and Matt. Not sure who is ahead. Matt's gone wide. He may have gotten a legal overtake there. Oh, there's a little bit of a kiss from behind. I think Matt had to slow down there to. He may have gotten a legal overtake on Anfo. It's caused a little bit of a collision from the cars behind. Dodo's is in the hunt now for the AlphaTauri ahead. Position changes. Dodo's at the moment is our current biggest mover, up P7. Anfo ahead of him is up P5 as well. Well, Dodo's hits the right hand side of the wall. Don't know if he got any damage from that at all. If he did, it was probably minor. Back down to Mikey, who was 0.66 seconds away. Mikey's new fast lap's being set. I don't know. We haven't got any movements now. I'm going to go back down to Dodo's and Anfo. He's in the next flood. Anfo does not have DRS. Dodo's does. He's going to look at it. Look at a straight line speed. Probably going to move to the left now. Oh, a little bit of contact. Just a little bit. Matt's been done 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Anfo keeps himself ahead. Sid up. Matt's in the pit. Back down to Baz and Matt. He's not close enough to get that move done. Oh, we've lost Haggy. His martial arts on the back end now. Let's go back down to the 5P1. Kenyon looked like all sorts of squirrely out of that corner there. And Vale should have enough area to get this done with now. Enough track. Really, I don't know. Oh, there's a lot of squeezing going there. Kenyon came across a little bit too much in my opinion there. Vale looking back around the outside now, going down the pit straight. Gets that move done. Vale is ahead on the lap 7. 3.8 second gap has been created from P3 to P4. Haggy and Mashallah side by side. Mashallah looks like he may have got his nose ahead. He has got his nose ahead. Puppy, 3 second penalty. Dodo's using extra parts of the track. Mashallah and Haggy are going back at it as well. Haggy, sorry, I'm saying Haggy. Haggy is burning, trying to get him done before the bridge section. It's a very dodgy place to get it done. Mashallah sees it coming, does well to avoid any sort of contact there. So that should give Mashallah DRS position or priority back. We go down to Mikey, gets past Kenyon. Go on, my son. Kenyon's lost 2 position in 2 laps. wonder if he's picked up any type of damage at all. He seems to be losing a little bit of time on these guys. Back down to Mashallah, and Heike is still ahead. Dodos is still behind Antfo. Second 7 seconds back is Mr. Indy, and then another 7 seconds back is Cedric, and another 7 seconds back is Alan. Just as we stay on board with Cedric and give the boss time a little bit of airtime. It's always good to see him back racing. Let's go to Mikey. As tries to cut a little bit. Give the edge on Bale. As he goes into the DRS zone down the pit finish straight. The power difference and the speed difference is frightening. Blasts past the Aston Martin with ease. Mikey leads this race lap 9 of 25. Dodos just can't seem to get quite close enough to get Antfo down the DRS. Potentially loses it down in sector 2 or 3, just creates that gap, not giving him enough to get in there. Now we've got gaps quite large across the field. Cedric's eating half a second away from Mr. Indy down in P9. Got Baz is 1 second, maybe just under 1 second now away from Alan. Excuse me, 1.5 seconds away. He's added all for sector 1. Keep an eye on the top guys, which is why we're on board with Dodos. He's going into the DRS section. Going down towards the final corner. Can he get close enough? Just doesn't look close enough again. He's not close enough again. He can't get within that sort of gap to getting done. Two DRS sections is not enough as it stands. Mikey has picked up a 3-second time penalty. Lap 10. I wonder how much that will hurt him come towards the end. How you doing, Hydro? Nice to see you in here. Mashallah is 0.8 away from Heige ahead. We've got less than a second separating the top 3 guys, but we've just had a 3-second time penalty picked up by Mikey that could prove pivotal towards the end of the race. Dodos is just dropping out with DRS. Yeah, cheers. We just recently picked up the sponsorship from Dubby. Snipers for Life picked up a 5-second speeding in the pit penalty. Pit window must be open, I'm assuming, or starting to open for the medium runners. As Mashallah is in the pit, you have to be wary of this pit as well in Jeddah. The pit lines in the entrance to the pit. If you go too far over them, it will give you a speeding in the pit lane penalty. Dodos is just coming out, but that is the blue flags ahead of his Ferrari teammate, who is ghosted. as he's still in pursuit of the AlphaTauri ahead. We got Cedric. Is he in the pits? No, he's not in the pits. He's just coming out, but he's going to just come out behind the Haas driver of Mashallah. Mashallah is on a fresh set of hard tyres. Dodo's still within DRS 0.9, but it doesn't seem quite close enough. It doesn't seem to help him too much in his pursuit of Anfo ahead. Anfo sitting on 98% ERS as well. Looks a little bit closer this time round than he has done before. Are you a puppy friend? Either way, it's always good to have new guys in chat. As we've got PRL Kenyon is just coming out. Oh, and as Dodo comes around the corner, Kenyon comes out of the pit and Kenyon has to move wide to avoid any sort of coming together. Cedric goes in. Let's have a look at some tyre choices while we go back and have a look. Dodo's are still on the back there, 0.6. Vale is leading this race and he is 10 points clear of the P2 driver of Nightowl behind. Yet to pit the top 4. It'll be interesting to see. Was that a bit of an undercut strategy from Kenyon down in P5 as he was contending for the lead? Mr. Indy is looking at the gearbox of Cedric as he looks like he's struggling a little bit through sector. And he does heed position there. Cedric is not comfortable through those S's. Go back on board. Oh, that's good to hear, Hydro. It's always good to have Puppy in here. He's been with us for quite a while now as well. Just unfortunately got down to reserve this season, as I know we have other league races, but it's always nice when he comes back in reserves for us. Cedric is on cold hard tyres. They will take a lap or and a half to warm up. That's probably why he heeded position. Sorry. Kenyon is on the back of Dodo's. It's 1 lap old hard tyres versus 12. But this has given Vale has just pitted and he has been held up. He is now 2-second gap between the contenders of this race. The leader swapped 3-4 times in the first 7 to 8 laps. Dodo's is actually close enough now. His first time in 13 laps, he's close enough to Wanfo to get it done, and he does. As Kenyon goes a little bit inside, looks like Anfo's going into the pit as he goes onto the left-hand side. Gives Kenyon a clear run up. Puffy, another 3-second time penalty. He is on scrub sets of tyres there. As Haggy is in the pits, he overtakes Anfo. Anfo is just coming out. It's Kenyon is in the hunt for Dodo. As Dodo goes in the inside, and he's letting lets Kenyon pass. He says this fight is not mine. Go back down to the P14, P15, P13. Alan is just coming out the pit. Sidgwick just gets ahead of him onto the pit exit. Puff P 4.5 seconds behind. Still nursing those medium tyres. He's going to feel the real benefit towards the end of the race when he's on the hard or the nicer compound tyres, whichever one he declares or decides to go for. Snipers for Life is unfortunately 54 seconds behind after a spin in the first few laps. Improvement to be seen by Mr. Indy as he goes up. He's 7.6 seconds behind. Matt's tyres are going to feel horrible. Night Owl in the pit. Mikey Kenyon back up to the positions that they started the race in. Kenyon has some work to do. 2.3 seconds away. Lap 15 of 25. 10 laps remaining. There's a bit of a gap separating P2, 3, P1, 2 and 3. Night Out is on fresher tyres. Has some work to do to catch up to P3, but fresher tyres, the faster compound tyre as well, definitely has a chance to do so. Haggy is similar to the top guys. Mushlow is 1 lap older. Dodo's is fresh mediums. Puffy is finally into the pits and is going on to hard compound type. We have a driver round. Who is that? That is the AlphaTauri of, that's Anfo in the S's. As he's being chased down by Baz now. Mikey, new fastest lap, 1:31.919. We have another sector 2. Oh, it is still Anfo round. Not having a good time now. There's a beautiful helicopter shot. I can't be that the whole time round. Alan is looking at the back of the Alfa Romeo reserves of Sidgwick. Battle for P10. Anfo has retired in the pits. Not sure if he's picked up some substantial or severe damage. Oh, and Alan is going on the inside of Sidgwick. Are we going to see some elbows out going into the left-hand corner? Who's going to take it? Alan's got the inside line. Sidgwick may look at the inside again. Give him the old flipper-flopper. Down, we're going to see DRS, should see DRS, Dodo's new fastest lap, 1:29.624. DRS is enabled for Sidgwick, as you see the speed difference there, gained massively, should have a nice little run up as well to Alan. Going down past the pit wall. We've got sector 2. Is that a Ferrari? It is a Ferrari. I believe that's a Ferrari of Snipers for Life. It is. Trying to find there's some fairly comfortable gap. The closest gap we've got on so far is Cedric and Alan. Matt, 3-second time penalties. We're not going to look at them yet, just I'd like to see closer to the end of the race how they're going to pan out. Mr. Indy has Alan chasing him. He's dropped Sid by 2 seconds. DRS and DRS into the next DRS zone, catching up fairly quickly. The Sparking Williams ahead is in target of Alan. Indy looks comfortable enough. Oh, Alan very close to that left hand side. As Alan is just increasing just decreasing the gap from the car ahead, while Dodo's is doing the same with Mashallah. It's the Ferrari versus the Haas. Controller versus Will. The Haas goes slightly deep and goes too much on the inside. It's in a heavy braking. Dodo's looks like he clipped the wall. DRS is activated as he just lifts off the brake a little bit. As Mashallah backs out of it, he doesn't want to have a battle with the guy of Dodo's pace on the wheel versus controller. Maybe having a little look back here as well. Tries to get a tighter line, so a good exit coming out, but I think Dodo's is probably going to be able to stay ahead going into turn 1. May just be a little bit too much. And then sector 2 and 3 as well. The wheel really comes into play. As Alan is a little bit closer going into the DRS section of the straight. Ooh, we have a flashing light, Mr. Indy ahead. He is out and recharging ERS as it stands. A bit of an exit compromise there from Indy has let Alan straight on the back of the gearbox there. Flashing light again from the Williams driver ahead, means he's out of ERS, while we've got 44% of the Williams driver behind. Travis Alive has picked up a 3-second time penalty. As an exit from Alan is Mega. DRS isn't even activated yet, it is now, and he's blasting past him. Mr. Indy's looking around the outside as he just got a little bit of run up on the Alpine driver here. The 9% DRS is activated for the Williams ahead of the Alpine. He's going to look. I don't think he's got enough. He hasn't got enough. Mr. Indy just backs out of that now. This is the closest battle on track. There's gaps ahead. There's gaps all over. We've got an 11-second gap from P4 to P3, and then it looks like we've got Mikey who's just trying to eat away a little bit of time down to P2. Vale looks like he's extended his lead from P2 to P1. Mikey is within DRS now. Is he going to get DRS this lap? Doesn't look like he is. Needs to keep in that DRS section under 1 second before the DRS detection zone. Lap 21 of 25. Still on board with Mike as he looks like he's really nearly half a second out the time ahead of the Haas driver. So Red Bull again, we have, I believe, a Snipers for Life round. Mikey is within DRS as he comes under the bridge, keeping it nice and smooth. Give yourself a best possible exit. So really eat that time ahead and go and see the back of the Kenyon's gearbox. Looks like he takes a little bit of a deeper line, tries to cut in, give himself a little bit of a better exit. %. Versus 35%. It looks like Mikey's going to go for on the inside, as he does. And he may be looking back. He's not going to look back in this section. As there is a back marker in between the Red Bull and the Aston Martin now. Dodos is in the pit. He's putting on a fresh pair of soft boots for the last few laps. Unfortunately, I can just this 3-second time penalty that Mikey picked up on lap 9 or 10 is going to really hurt him towards the end of this race, unless he can break that gap from Kenyon. Keep an eye on this battle here, and then we will go down to P8 and P7 as Alan is being followed very closely by Dodo's P.6. Kenyon can't make this move happen there. Too late, too far back. Nice fresh tyres from Dodo's as he's right on the stretch now in a hunt for P7 and Alan ahead. As you always get a lovely helicopter view around Jeddah. Under the bridge is going into the last DRS section. And he's looking on the inside, the power, and he is passed easily. Unfortunately for him, he has a 22-second gap to P6. The P6 driver is Mashallah, who has a 10-second gap to P5. P5 has a 5-second gap to P4, and P4 has a 13-second gap to the fight for P1, which is currently being led quite comfortably by Vale. Let's have a look at positional changes. Dodos is up 8 places, as unfortunately he did exit us in Q2, I believe, as a DNF driver. Puff P up for Matt down for Central Cut 1. have a look at the penalties on the last lap to see how we will roughly work out. Sector 2. Oh, who is that? That is Matt. In Sector 2, down in P12. It's not a great day at the office for the Mercedes driver, sorry. Dodo's new fastest lap. Come up towards the last lap, round 5 of Jeddah, led by PRL Vale, as we have a fight for P2. Mike has a 3-second time penalty as Kenyon has DRS behind. Dodo picks up another 3-second time penalties. As we will now go on board and have a look at our penalties. Mikey, unfortunately, as it stands, will drop down to P3 due to the 3-second time penalty picked up earlier in the race. Mashallah has 3 seconds back down to Dodo's also has 3 seconds, so I don't think that will come into play at all unless something drastic changes. The rest are all on 6, 6 and 3 seconds. So as it stands, the only current positional change that will happen is Mikey down from P2 to P3. As we will go back on board with our race leader. As Mikey has dropped out just. He has dropped Kenyon from his DRS just. As our race leader, the Aston Martin driver, the driver of PRL Vale, crosses the line to complete an absolute epic race and driving by himself. Kenyon P2, Mikey P3. We have Night Out, who should come across comfortably in P4 to continue a fine start to the season. We have Haggy 0.5 away, 5.5 away to finish P5. Mashallah, very, very respectable P6. And then Dodo's round the last corner. P7. Alan and the Alpine crosses the line. P8 followed quite closely by the Williams driver, Mr. Indy, and then our reserves in the Alfa Romeo, Sidric. We got Matt and Baz. Not sure why Baz is ghosted. Don't know if he ran out of fuel. Driver of the day given by the game is Dodo's. I'm not quite sure on my own personal one at the moment. I will have a think about it over the last couple. No, I'm going to say it now. I thought about it the last few laps. Driver of the day from my point of view will be PRL Vale. The Aston Martin driver that finished P1. Had a very closely contested fight for P1 with the other drivers over the last few laps, but then led comfortably and picked his strategy spot on. PRL Vale driver of the day, P1 for race 5, Jeddah. of PRL. As we go through the grid, Vale finishing P1, followed by PRL Kenyon, who leapsfrogged Mikey due to the time penalty. Nightowl P4, Haggy AK P5, Mashallah P6, Dodos P7, SAS Allen P8, Mr. Indy P9, PRL Cedric P10, Buzz P11, Matt P12, Puff P13, Snubs for Life P14, P15, P16 and 17 of Anthro Remaster and Mr. Pro unfortunately did not finish. So that concludes round 5 of PRL Season 2. We will have Realistic again tomorrow for the penultimate race of the first transfer window. Who can make their target, who doesn't, who will change seats, who doesn't. We shall find out tomorrow. Shall see you then.